Introductions to our. Now, when we did the first part of this conversation, there was this gentleman in the background who kept dropping these jewels, and I was like, okay, we need to get him in front of the camera. So,
I don't want to say too much, and he just.
Oh, and shout out Derek Henson from One Car. Shout out Derek Henson from One Car.
what's up, Z? What's up, Derek?
From checking in from DC.
So I thought, yeah, it would be a great idea to bring him in front of the camera for a little bit of that magic he was giving us and sharing with us. Ladies and gentlemen, I'd like to introduce to you for the first time here on joining the men at the table for the conversation, our brother Mark Ball. Mark, thank you. Great to be here. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. And then we got returning for his second run at the table, the American Gunner. I actually had fun putting together the flyer. The return of the American Gunner, Billy Harper.
Sounds like a great movie. American Gunner, life story of Billy Harper. I watched that. Right.
They normally are, right? It's what makes a story a story.
The hero's journey. You could do a documentary for sure, man.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. With all that you shared just in the last episode, and I'm sure there's more. Yeah. So then JAESUNMUZIC, Mr. Compassion, Mr. Compassionate, ladies and gentlemen, Jay Sun Music, and he got many jobs. Mr. Haircut Man, the owner and proprietor of Exclusive Cuz Barbershop, the creator and producer of The Woodwall Show, father, husband, brother, ladies and gentlemen, Devin
I'm a father,
Smith.
I'm a brother.
Yeah, I was like, yeah. It was like, fuck your idea. James, he makes music, James, white here. Devin, he's a loving man.
Oh, now see, that's how things get turned around.
Sounds like I got so much going on.
Sometimes it feels like that. And the man I will allow to introduce himself because I just can't do him justice.
I feel, you be like Michigan. I feel like I'm compassionate as well.
What? I don't think that you're not compassionate.
No, I'm very compassionate. Father. What you said about that? Father, entrepreneur, caring, kind man, compassionate,
Comedian, host. I don't know about that. I gotta see you on the gun range.
I'm all right. You still gotta go to the spot.
Yeah, that'd be good. Like I said, I thought I'd make this one little announcement before we get going, and that is, as we get into the topic, that as much as possible, that we try to frame things in a way where we, unless the question is specifically about women, that we operate in a way where how can I say, what's the best way of saying it? We're holding ourselves accountable. We're talking about whatever it is we're talking about, but we're kind of like leaving women out of the picture. And just saying, so like we're doing the stuff that we need to do without even like really considering it. Yeah, that's a good idea. Mimi, close the door. It's not your son. Okay, so our first segment, damn, God damn. This I found interesting. Damn, stealthing is a crime. I didn't even know there was a thing until I heard there was this new thing that was a crime, and then when I looked into it, I was like, okay, this is interesting. So do we know what stealthing is?
No.
Okay. Stealthing is you're having sex with a young lady, one old lady. That's it. That's it. Or an old lady.
A more seasoned.
Whatever kind of lady you got.
Whatever. So stuffing is when you remove the condom without her knowledge.
Oh, I heard that.
Yeah, that's what you
That's
want.
scumbaggy.
They call it stealthy.
That's a crime. That's definitely a crime in every state.
No,
I get it though.
Actually, I looked at California. It's a crime. It's not. It's past in California, but you know what they say how California.
Because they blue. California's blue.
Yeah,
You can't,
yeah.
California got a lot of noise. You hurt somebody's feelings out there, it's a crime. It's a crime to hurt somebody's feelings in California.
I'd say that's a crime in every bedroom around the world.
Yeah, for sure. That's why I have heard of that. I didn't know that was the name for it.
That's
I can't see why somebody want to do it though. Sneak it,
That's,
like, man.
that's super wild, man.
I see why they want to do it.
I mean, of course, right? Of course, right? Right. The answer is obvious. But
I think Mary J. Blige. Was that Mary J. Blige said it's not right, but no, that's
You couldn't use
No,
it.
it ain't right, but it's okay.
no, it's not even. No, that's terrible.
So, but
Still.
what when I heard it and I talked a little bit about it to a couple of folks, the energy that I was receiving was yes, you know, guys who do this and guys who do that and guys who do that, and I was like, oh, okay, I get it. And then as much as I tried to kind of guide the conversation away from that, eventually I got to the point because of the attack. I was like, well, there is no law on the books, not even in California, for a woman to lie about being on birth control.
Yeah, that's why I would never trust that.
That's right.
I ain't gonna believe you. Yeah, I don't know, man. I was very different, man. But
I ain't gonna look at every woman on birth
I'm
control.
like, oh, you are? Okay. All right. Yeah, nah. But right, of course not, right?
I'm allergic to latex.
Yeah, I never was a believer in it.
Oh, that's a big finesse right there. Oh man, that's a big finesse. You're allergic to latex now. Okay.
Yeah, I got lamb skin.
Alright, I'll be back. I'm not coming back. Amazing. I think that's
So, but it was just the obvious double standard.
yeah.
And sometimes when I'm having these conversations, I like to see just how far we're willing to go to fight against. I guess I call it the fight against being right, the fight against right. Because you know, as men, we pretty much understand that the world ain't fair. It ain't gonna be fair. It ain't trying to be fair. So we kind of get it. We see what it is, and then we make the adjustment. But when I'm talking to a few of the sisters that I talk to on a regular basis, fairness is the thing that they always want. But then when I point out something like this and say, to get some feedback on the level of, you know, there's a law that says this to protect you, but there's no law to protect them, to protect us. And just to watch that whole thing play out, it's like, man, y'all even like us.
Yeah, they do, but they like them over us for sure. You know what I'm saying? So if it feels like it's them or us, of course they're gonna choose themselves.
You know, people don't like to admit that they're playing the game. So when you ever hear somebody tell like they sob story about how their relationship ended or who was doing this and who was doing that, it's never a time where if you got played, you was playing the game. You just ain't like how it turned out, but
Right.
it's just like if you dated a girl and she like cheated on you or something. Usually, you liked her for a reason that was probably a mistake, or sexy good, she looked good, or she played to your ego, whatever it can be. Either way, you were getting some kind of gratification from her that was like
That was superficial?
That was superficial.
You just get played though. It happens.
It's not saying that you can't get played, but you was playing the game. It's very rare that you are completely genuine and you have no leverage involved that you get played.
Yeah,
I just don't know. This is America, bruh. You know what I'm saying? I went to jail when I was 14 for something I didn't do. I got put on probation. I did time for it. You know what I'm saying?
And you also didn't go to jail for things that you did do.
But I was 14 at that time. I wasn't committing no crime. That was later in life. That was not when I as a 14. Nah, I was chilling, bro. That was just not a fortunate situation for me.
That's
But
a great
sometimes
rapper.
you can just have it. There's men in jail.
Life is hard, but
it's
it's fair though. Life is hard, but it's fair.
You know, my friend said when we working out, but I'm just saying it doesn't always. There's times where, for whatever reason, whatever you believe in, however it goes, you can just get played out, man. It can happen. People are vindictive. People are spiteful. Some people are just downright evil, bro. Like they just want to ruin your day or figure out a way to ruin your life.
But here's the thing though, and I don't disagree with you. I think when I say that or when I allude to that, people think that there's like a level to the disingenuous. If you disingenuous, you disingenuous. But so like yes, that person could have been better at being disingenuous than you, and it didn't feel as good.
So you don't think that person can just have good intentions and just be a good person, but you have your own things going on that maybe you didn't reveal to them, they didn't see. Maybe sometimes they do see it and they let it slide, but sometimes you can con somebody, man. People get con, man.
If you seen it and you let it slide, that's because
I agree with that.
If you allowed yourself to be tricked, then you were there.
I agree with that, but sometimes, man, I can con somebody, bro. I can. It might not last long because I can't keep up the con for too long, but I can keep up the con for like a month.
No, but I think, well, that goes to that phrase that I use. The con man can't con you unless you agree on some level to participate in the con.
Right. Because the reality is, no matter how great a con you think you are, you're not as good as you think. And so
You can just be a gentleman. You can be a fake gentleman for a month to a woman, bro.
yeah, you can be a fake. Some shit slip out.
You can send flowers. You can open doors. You can plan dates, bro. You don't do this.
Yeah, but
you're just doing it because you know that this is a cheat code to lower this woman's defense.
But
you know what I'm saying?
every time I look back at any interaction I've had with a woman, whether it be serious, long term, short term, quick one night, wham bam, and I didn't like the interaction. If I replay that interaction, I had some fault in how it went. Right. Even if it's just what I allowed. If I be like, man, I had good intentions, but really I looked at her and she looked like a stripper and she was willing to have sex with me very quickly and do really nasty things to me. And that's what I wanted at the time.
I mean, I understand that,
but that a part of then I have to own whatever came with that. I can't be like, yo, I like chocolate but I don't like diabetes. Like it doesn't work that way.
But I'm just saying, you don't think it's possible for somebody to be innocent?
No. We all complicit in the game if we playing the game.
Innocence. And why is there a word in if it's not a possibility?
So listen, but there's still the innocent.
Somebody made that up.
The innocent person that we think is the innocent one in a situation like this, they actually are playing a part. Their pride, fear, things that misconception, misunderstanding, all this stuff that goes along with being duped, you know, that's all just character flaws that are based, off my ego.
And it's like your own trauma that you ain't addressed, and you looking for a band-aid from another woman or another person you dating. That's your fault.
I agree with that. Okay, I agree with that.
There's open wounds on me that I'm trying to cover up by allowing myself.
No, I get that. I get that in the mirror and how that works. But I'm saying like you can really just give somebody everything you got and they can shit on you.
But
that's what I'm saying.
I understand that, but
I can understand. But I get what you're saying. That your intentions of giving them all you got and attaching yourself to them. I agree with that. I agree with that.
Because there is spiritually sick people that even if I'm out trying to be the best person I can and treat people the way I want to be treated, and then I get duped, then that means that, well, maybe I don't play a part in it. Maybe it's just they're spiritually sick people trying to hurt me.
But the reality is, your actions always override intention. You can be like, I ain't mean to break your heart, but you did. So
When somebody knocks, they can't get in unless you open it up.
right, and if you believe,
Right, they can have on a police outfit.
yeah, but if you believe, did you call the police?
Come on in, Officer Fowler.
Did you call the police?
Huh?
Did you call the police?
No.
Okay, so
But
why you
there's
let
certain
them in?
uniforms, because there's certain uniforms that can.
Show me some paperwork.
Bruh, there are
If
cheat.
you- if
It's
you-
a matrix, right? We both agree.
Yeah.
So there are cheat codes. I
No.
can buy a nice suit, go to an interview, and lie, bro, and I don't qualify for this.
Right, but the thing is, you
Gonna show though.
you can
Eventually.
it's gonna show in your
Come on,
work.
get started.
Yeah. if you like, I'm a brain surgeon, and they give you that brain to surgery, then you're like, maybe I lied a little bit.
I mean, yeah.
If it was Beyonce dressed like a cop, she was saying beat it like a cop at your door, you know you would.
Right. And you know it's too good to be true.
Yeah.
If somebody show up to you naked in the cop uniform and you be like, man,
Naked.
you know this might not be a cop.
He's like, I
You
know
got on
this
the
might
hat.
not be a cop.
You got a hat in the bag.
You ever been what's the place that you say hideaway?
Yeah,
Hideaway
Secret.
Hotel? Secret. You can't be naked in the uniform.
Oh, what? Like spray painters?
There's ways.
But no, I agree with what y'all said. I agree with what y'all said in that it could be underlying, like you could be looking for something, and a person, being that you were looking for something so desperately outside of yourself, a person was able to, your guard was lowered to allow a person to attack you. I agree with that. But I'm saying like you could have done, but there could be a relationship where you could have done nothing to this person.
Yeah,
You know
but
what I'm saying?
look, that's the thing though. Just because
It's a lesson for you.
Just because you can rationalize why you are seeking a certain leverage, it doesn't mean that leverage is positive. It doesn't mean that you.
That doesn't mean you're just seeking leverage and you're looking for somebody to walk through life with you.
Yeah,
Listen, if you're like going out as a single man and you're trying to like find a woman, find a companion, and you're jumping straight into the physical,
Yeah.
then you know there's going to be problems
But-
because it's friends, attraction, and then physical.
Right.
So I try to see if this
Good.
is somebody I can even be friends with.
Good.
Is this somebody that I'm spiritually attracted to? And if it is, then I can get physical.
Okay.
But if I
I like
just jump
that.
right to the physical, I'm going to have problems
Yeah,
later.
You don't know.
Yeah, you get all the jump. You get all the jump.
Yeah, right off
It's
the
terrible
rip.
that friends attraction physical is like fat.
Yeah,
Yeah.
you gotta get some fat pussy, Jason.
No, you know what fat means? Fat, it's a slang term.
What do you mean?
Self-pleasure.
Urban Dictionary.
Self-pleasure, man. Self-pleasure.
No, but that's real though. It's like you can't be like, my tits was good, but you wanted to fuck her as soon as you saw her.
Were they
Your titties-
really good?
Your titties were to fuck her. If you got fucked, you can't be like, oh, she fucked me out there. That was your intentions. Y'all both got what y'all wanted out of the deal.
But where did that went when you courted her? And then she ran off with your TV.
If you
I know somebody that just had that happen. Oh my god.
but if you
That's
genuinely,
about to be your husband.
yeah,
man.
and you just court her,
Oh, they just be hanging on the wall.
and you just court her.
And you trust her, she at your house.
No.
She's like,
Sometimes
I'm
better
gonna
to
go.
hang the TV.
I'm gonna go to work. I'll be back. The
That-
TV's gone.
That's not courting her though. Courting don't mean you be in my house alone. First of all, courting really don't mean you be in my house at all.
Yeah.
That's not really courting. Is not really like you at my house.
I don't think y'all was courting anyway.
Yeah,
y'all was.
yeah,
You know what I'm
Like
saying? They do that.
coffee in
Yeah,
a
I'm saying
courtyard.
we didn't have sex yet. They didn't have
If,
sex.
if I invite you to my house and we are have showed interest in each other, the only thing that happens at my house is
Netflix and chill.
to live and fuck.
Come
We ain't
on,
living there
man.
yet. We just fucking. You
What's
know-
wrong with you?
Jason?
Y'all can just enjoy. You can cook her dinner. She can go home.
To fuck her. Yes, I'm gonna cook her dinner to fuck her.
But you see, that's how the ideal changes between.
Jason know this though. He's just trying to be devil's advocate.
I'm just saying, sometimes people just shit on you, bro, and that's life.
And sometimes you presented yourself as a choice.
Sometimes I agree, but sometimes you did.
Very rare. Very rare, Jason.
Damn. Did y'all hear the story about Lizzo and the banana?
Oh man.
Yeah, that's hilarious, man.
I don't know. If
I knew Black would like. I knew Black would like.
That's hilarious, man.
He should have worn your Lizzo shirt this time.
Yeah, I should have worn my little shirt on camera.
He had a Lizzo shirt on last week. Or last show.
Yo, how great is that to be in charge? And y'all go see a show where the lady puts the banana leaf ears
In the tailpipe.
in her own tail. No, it's in her front pipe.
Yo,
it was the front.
And then you make somebody who worked for you eat that banana.
What? You can't make nobody do that.
You can't.
No, you're right here. Same thing. Same thing. Same thing.
So that person, they had it coming.
No, they weren't in California. They in a faraway country.
They were like Amsterdam.
I have your passport. I can make you do anything.
Oh man.
You can't, and I'm paying you. And I'm paying you to be a fat dancer, which doesn't exist. so I'm paying you an exorbitant amount of money to do a job that nobody else has, to do something once in a lifetime. All I want you to do is eat this pussy banana.
You know, that's the way things go out here, man. That's the way things go in America. It's like you gotta do something you don't want to do. Yeah, like you gotta do something you don't want to do.
You're a fat dancer. That's not real. that means you. It's like dating somebody with low self-esteem. Like you don't deserve me.
I get what you're saying. It's
So
not a
you
market
do
for
what I
this.
want you to
It's
do.
not a big market for this.
After
There's
they
no
eat the
market
banana,
for a
she
fat
makes them
backup
go down and
dancer.
get her coffee.
What?
Isn't that what she did? She made them all
Name another world-renowned star that has fat backup dancers.
Beyonce got none?
Jason, name another.
Hey, I think plus size backup
She got a lot of
dancers are
good
better than
videos. Yeah, she got a lot of
But that-
a lot of game in those.
Listen, I'm a healthy guy. I can dance one time. Maybe one time a week. Really well. Well, I can't dance strong, but I can do the steps.
You can walk in the room over in Dubai, bro, and
But-
put a bag on the bed.
For a fat backup dancer? But if I have to dance night in and night out, 5 to 6 nights
You
a week,
shouldn't be that fat.
that's what Lizzo was saying. So is she wrong? That's exactly Lizzo's point. You guys are getting too fat to be my dancer. Even though I hired you to be fat backup
And
dancer.
she's a poster girl for body positivity.
But it's the kicker though.
That's the
She don't be out there
part called
dancing.
Black.
She just be out there playing the flute and having her backup dancers.
Yeah, I don't gotta dance. Y'all dance.
So who's wrong?
Whitney Houston ain't dance.
That goes to your point. Who's wrong?
Lizzo. She's a hypocrite.
She hired you to be a fat backup dancer.
And then told you was too fat.
Well,
Getting too fat.
see?
What?
Getting
You said you were getting
Well, how is
too
she
fat.
feeding
You said
them
you're
at
getting too fat?
With bananas, don't like working with them.
But you know, but the thing is, right?
That's what the whole thing is about. It's so crazy. It's so bizarre. Isn't it?
How do you?
But look, the thing is, right? Okay, so the thing is, in America, well, I don't know how around the world. I live over here, so
Oh.
it's like a thing now to where you're like not supposed to be able to tell somebody that, hey, you getting a little, you know what I'm saying, tubby.
Yeah.
You know, it's like
I haven't heard that.
you can't say that to me. You, how dare you?
But that's the irony of it, because honestly, in
You should be able to tell somebody that, right?
in a normal life, if I pay you to be my backup dancer, that's actually a prerequisite for you to be in shape.
But
if I hire you to be a fat backup dancer, then the gray area is too long.
and if I'm always talking
No pun
about,
intended.
and if I'm online crying, saying
That's another story.
I'm body positive, but y'all fat shaming me, so I'm gonna cry on my live. You know what I'm saying?
Eating a mustard-filled Oreo.
No, but not.
She was doing that.
No, but I'm,
Nah, I ain't gonna do that.
but I'm just saying,
Let's do that.
it's like Derek Jackson, right?
I'm
It's
not
like,
gonna catch a cramp, but I'm gonna eat this Oreo.
it's like Derek Jackson. He's online like, man, you ain't treating that woman right. And then we find out he wasn't treating his woman right. You know what I'm saying?
He was the perfect person to tell you who's not
She
doing
wasn't
that
for
right.
me.
He was like, you out there cheating.
But that's your
Your
problem.
wife is watching videos
That's-
on your phone with you and another woman.
That's
He was
your-
talking to himself. He was looking at the phone. He was talking to
That's your
himself.
problem, Jason. He never said that he would treat a woman right or not cheat. He said that you doing it.
You know?
And you gotta ask yourself,
How do you know? Bro, you know a lot about this, bro. How do you know? These scenarios are strangely detailed. Come on, man. This is right in front of you sometimes.
But you can't, you can't go on live crying saying y'all need to stop fat shaming people, and then it turns out you fat shaming your employees.
But you actually can do that. She really did it.
But you're not gonna get a good review from the people.
She already made the money though. This is the funny thing about it.
But you know, it ain't about the money.
No, but it's the funny thing
These
about
people,
it.
they crave fame.
She did a show to find the best fat backup dancer.
Yeah.
I don't know if that's the name of the show, but it would have been a good name.
You gotta ask what their diet was before
No,
they hired them.
they prerequisite was to be fat.
No, they were supposed to be, because that's like her thing is to condone people being out of shape.
Yeah,
That's just
message.
to trim all the fat.
It's her
Her
message.
message is it's okay to like be out of shape and like just look how you want to look. Don't care what nobody say. Don't
But is it
just
really okay?
pretend that you're positive about it.
No, it's not okay. But that's the
No,
thing.
but she can't go against like what her statement is.
That's the beauty. That's the beauty of it all.
She's
Is
a contract about it, I think.
the beauty of it all is.
What you said? What you said?
You be exaggerating. Exaggerating.
No, but that's the beauty of it is.
That's her message. That's her agenda.
But it is her message.
It's like be sloppy. You're fabulous.
Not be.
You're fabulous.
That just doesn't even
I ain't
make
knocking it,
sense.
man. I'm not knocking
Be
it.
sloppy,
No.
you're fabulous.
Yes.
That's pretty much what she's saying.
Yes. We're gonna trim all the fat. And
It's all the fat.
Ain't no sugarcoated, bro. That's exactly what she's saying.
Listen, you guys gotta get up, Lizzo. What?
I was thinking it seems more like she might have a message just accepting yourself as you are.
that's how they draw it up. That's a politically correct message. But man, these people don't be accepting themselves, man. They don't.
But all jokes aside, that's the beauty of it is.
Overcompensate.
She pushing that message and she had to face it. So she pushing that like, hey, be body positive, but then when she realized, oh yeah, I got these fat dancers that are not doing what I need to do. This is why you shouldn't be fat.
And some people do accept
She's like learning her
themselves.
lesson.
So somebody go give me a bunch of bananas.
Let's keep it real.
That's terrible.
The bananas is just fun. Like, you're supposed to do that.
What is fun about the banana, bro?
Get somebody to eat a vagina banana?
Do they eat it
Is that
from
your
the top
boss?
or from the side, though?
What?
Huh?
How do
They
you
go from the top or from the
how do you
side?
like to eat your bananas?
No, you know, I
What's
found
a pill? What's a pill?
No,
What's an
I
unpill?
found out about this show.
You thought,
These
okay,
are
no,
good
no, no.
questions, though.
Because the texture of a banana, you know, it can. Okay.
Yeah, like what?
You know, it can squish.
Every time I see
Banana
somebody
pudding.
peel that banana, I watch them. Because I want to know how they take the first bite.
Hey, but look how y'all giving so much thought to this, right? Imagine how great that show is.
It matters.
Imagine how great that show is.
A bunch of big girls eating banana.
You got a banana in your vagina and you got it out and it was whole. That's talent.
That's skill.
That's true.
That's skill.
Come on, and I'm your boss, so I can make you eat it for my own pleasure.
But
That's just a power trip.
I'm gonna say this,
That's all
yeah,
it is.
because
And
all
it's
that.
actually
I didn't say it
hurting-
was good,
what
but it was
she's doing
fun.
is hurting women as a whole, in my opinion.
For
It's
sure,
just hurting
for
women.
sure, yeah.
Nah.
Like when she had a booty cheek sign at the Los Angeles Lakers game, and then she got banned from the arena or whatever. It's like, so now you're kind of like using the current of society to like, kind of like bully people. You know what I'm saying? Because nobody's supposed to say nothing to you now.
Advance myself.
But you had a
push
family
everybody else
event.
down.
Yeah, you had a family event, NBA basketball game, and when they put the camera on you, you turn around and start twerking, and you got on these shorts that your booty cheeks are hanging out of. So it's like, and you'll see people defending that online, and it's like, man, whatever you, I can't tell you what to do, but you're in a family environment. You know what I'm saying? Like sometimes I see people with these really profane shirts on, and I'm like, you're not like at an adult party with that shirt on. You're like in Publix, you know what I'm saying, with that shirt on.
Yeah, but if Rihanna had her butt cheeks out, you wouldn't complain.
Huh?
If Rihanna had her butt cheeks out, you wouldn't.
I don't think she
Look at
should
it
be
a little
twerking. I don't think
sideways,
she should be twerking at an NBA game on a jumbotron.
Will it sicken you?
Huh?
If Rihanna was twerking on the jumbotron,
I'm gonna think she's using her influence to like be a bully,
but would
though.
you still watch?
Huh?
If you still watching Rihanna twerking,
I don't watch Lizzo twerk, man. Lizzo got a pretty face.
I can agree with that.
Lizzo, she pretty, bro. She ain't my body type, but
Jay,
she's
you
pretty.
sound crazy.
I watched the video. I seen the video. She was twerking. It was like, it wasn't that
Jay,
wrong.
you know, like when the old lady trying to give a baby a compliment, but she's not impressed. like bless her real hard. Yeah, that's what you did.
I'm not against the BBWs. I'm not against the BBWs, but it gotta be. I'm a proportion guy, so if it's, I just like it to be. Yeah.
But it sounds like you're against something because you said she was that.
No, that's not my body preference.
Hold on. You said
They get them.
that.
I apologize. Why are you whispering that?
I don't know. I'm sorry. I don't know.
Okay.
You mentioned that she was in a family environment and that she was twerking. So you have an issue with it. From
Just
that
in the
perspective.
setting.
So if she wasn't in a family environment, it would have been okay?
Yes, she was.
Yeah, she was at her show, and she was doing her show, and she was twerking with her dancers. Yeah,
Y'all cut it out. Y'all cut it out right now.
don't do that.
If that was a heavy set woman right now, twerking right now, no kids around with my daughter, she won't know what's going on. You're not gonna be like, hey, look at her confident ass. Just dance.
No, we're not gonna say
It's all about the setting. Why would you just be here twerking?
We're not gonna say she's confident.
Also
Where
said-
is it okay for her to be twerking?
At a Beyonce concert or something. In the club, in a nightclub,
She's Beyonce.
in a nightclub.
But see,
If I see a bigger woman twerking in a nightclub,
Jay,
she's in a
Jay, listen to
nightclub.
what you said.
Do it in the room for who you chose.
Jay, I said, where is it okay for Lizzo to be dancing naked?
In her room.
You said at some other attractive woman's concert, not her own.
No, I did say at her own concert. That's the first thing I said. No. The first thing I said was at her own concert, right? That was the first thing I said. If I said she was at her own show, by all means, turn up, do your thing. It's your show. The people came to see you.
So
Jay,
your
you
only
fat
issue was
shaming,
that
man.
she was in a family
Oh, my
environment.
I'm not a fat shamer.
You're
But it's women that say you gotta be 6 feet tall, you gotta weigh 200, you gotta be do something to do something.
And that's wrong.
And I'm not mad at them.
That's-
They got a right to their
Jay,
preference.
that's short shaming.
They got a right to their preference. I am 5'9". I'm gonna stick with the women that celebrate me.
There's an ass
Jay,
for every
Jay.
seat. And guys like me and him, short, fat guys,
Yeah.
we ain't never have
Jay,
a problem
Jay, if
because
you-
there's an ass for every seat.
Yeah,
Jay-
that's short women. Look,
Jay,
She's sorry,
Jay,
man.
if you don't love yourself, that's your business. But you ain't gonna short shame me.
I've been short my whole life, man. It never bothered
What
me
you like,
at all.
5'6"?
It don't matter how tall I am.
I'm 5'4", so I got it even worse.
Whoa!
Yeah.
I'm 5'9". Y'all make me feel like
So if you don't like a short man, that's already you problem.
But so we all got a right to have our preference, right? Because women they'll try to reverse on us and be like, you can't talk about your preference because then you're excluding. But they'll be like, if you ain't 6 feet tall, what are you?
That'll get
My
deeper
kid,
into society.
Yeah. But me, I'm like, hey, if you like men that's over 6 feet, more power to you. I'll be over here with women that like me.
But it's like you almost as a man can't even say what you like or what you want nowadays.
Yeah.
Without people going, oh look, he don't like that.
Yeah.
He only said he likes that.
Here's the guys though.
I'm standing on that.
All jokes aside, this is the guys. They say like if men say it's really not men saying it. It's everybody who's watching. Fat people, skinny people, short people. They all watching and say, oh, that don't look right. Even somebody who's a woman who's fat be like, nah, she's just gonna choose the right clothes. That's her saying like, I wouldn't wear that shit. But it's like if you say it, it used to be like you're able to say, yeah, that's not the ideal body type. Doesn't mean it's the right body type. Doesn't mean that she's less attractive.
This is not the ideal body type for me.
Right. Even people who look like move heavy, they don't be like, I'm perfect the way I am. They be like, nah, I can stand to lose a few pounds. That used to be the norm.
They just don't want you to tell them that.
Yeah,
They don't represent themselves other than
and it's like
who's gonna tell them?
it is like you really present
I just leave him alone, bro.
I'm fat too, hell, man. We need to work out.
and you really project it because for the most part we don't be like, oh, look at that fat lady. we say it in our head like we've always done. But
You know what we say?
the
Yeah,
thing
boy,
is, you
that's
so
the time
country,
you
so you can be
gotta
like,
go to
what am I fat to you? It's like, I wasn't saying it, but.
I mean, they got to show 600-pound life, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's wild.
And the doctor say, hey,
You're gonna die, you're fat.
The doctor can say it to you, though.
he's the meanest guy we've met.
That's what he gets paid to do.
Yeah.
He gets paid to
I
tell
can't
you,
say it,
hey,
right?
You're gonna die, you're
I can't
fat.
say it. I would never go up to somebody that
Yeah, you
is
paying to tell somebody
bigger
about it.
and say, fat is like almost like a slur now.
Yeah.
Like the word fat is like a slur now.
But
Like,
that guy's mean. Hey, I'm a picky eater. It don't like you pick much.
No, hey, the word skinny is
skinny?
skinny. Yeah, there's so many girls out there struggling with the same thing. They're too skinny.
Dang, man.
Taking all these supplements to try to gain weight and stuff like that. It's the same thing.
Yeah, there was a post of somebody I follow on Instagram, and she was like, she made a whole big post and a whole big announcement that was like really long.
And guys,
To say that
I
she
said
was-
girls. I gotta take that back. And guys, I meet guys all the time that are super, super thin, and they're like, yeah, I'm taking this weight gainer, I'm eating whey protein and all this stuff, and they're trying to gain weight. So it's
I would like to be 175, but I don't eat enough food.
I eat enough for you, don't worry.
But that's like
my ideal. If I could get to 175, I'm 160.
But
I just don't eat enough food.
majority of Americans have some kind of like uncomfortability with their
Oh, for
physical
sure,
appearance.
for sure.
So to pretend like it's just you being picked on is not an honest thing.
Yeah.
Everybody can pick
Agreed.
somewhere.
Everything physical supersedes something spiritual.
That's why we can joke about like being short. And all. I don't give a fuck about being short. Majority of people in America are my height or shorter.
If I have a problem with the way I am, or if I have a problem with being short, or if I have a problem with being short and fat or whatever, it's because I have something within me spiritually that's off.
Yeah.
And usually those things that are off in me are because of things like society, Facebook, TV shows, people at school. We're all living off the same social stuff.
Yeah.
Comparing yourself.
Comparing ourselves.
It used to be insecurities was as embarrassing me as your insecurity. So it used to be like, don't look at me, I'm embarrassed. Now it's like, look at me, but lie to me.
Yeah. That's wild. That's it. Just speaking of heavy. So Lizzo is wrong, bro. She's wrong, bro.
Yeah, bro. I've already outlined my case. She's not wrong. You know what hurt my feelings and what's embarrassing to me? That Devin is his own boss and he has people that work for him, work around him. He never make them eat bananas out of him. Why would you be in charge if you don't do that kind of stuff? Seriously.
So if you
Walk in one day and hear the Chiquita banana.
the man is terrible.
No, treating your employees like human beings. Come on, man. Seriously.
Who does
That's not what capitalism is.
Well, Bill Clinton actually got
Yeah, he was thinking bananas.
stick a cigar up there.
Hey, allegedly. That's my president. He does not.
God damn. I'm sure we all saw the Montgomery Brawl.
Montgomery Brawl. They got a good little rap. The dude you heard the rap?
I did.
That rap was good.
It was pretty tight. Yeah, Bubba was playing with him on his show.
Everybody been swimming. Everybody been having chairs. Social media's on fire about it.
Oh,
Some good
man.
jokes. Some good jokes.
Oh man.
People working out with chairs.
That was
This was dude setting chairs in the back of his car like guns. You know what I'm saying? It was a kid. And he was like, come to the back. You know, he was showing like different chairs or whatever.
Hey, I'm about to start selling keychains with a chair on it.
I thought it was going to be a banana.
Somebody got a chair tattoo. You seen that?
Yeah, I
They got a chair tattoo that said August 5th, 2023.
Wow. That's wild.
They commemorated the event, bro.
What I was hoping to see from that whole thing was I was waiting for the gentleman, the brother who threw the hat. I was waiting to see his interview. I was hoping that he would do an interview before we got to the show.
Nah, but bro was doing his job. He still got to work there. That people miss that part. Like he still works there.
Somebody said he got fired.
Nah, he still works
He
there.
still work there? Okay. All right, 'cause I was curious about that. 'Cause somebody said the whole.
Oh, they wouldn't. The public, they wouldn't have been able. They wouldn't have let him get fired. Nah, they would have been protesting
Yeah, I
or
think
something like
she
that.
tried to let them go, but I don't think she was.
Yeah, you can't.
It got too big.
You can't. 'Cause
They became martyrs.
you clearly see this guy not through. He ain't
No,
fighting.
he was so kind.
Yeah, he-
explaining over and over again.
When you wrong, they dead wrong. They had no.
He really ain't want to fight.
Yeah, he didn't.
He threw the hat like,
Yeah.
all right, I guess I gotta
Yeah.
fight.
Like this my last resort. 'Cause y'all drunk and y'all entitled. Y'all drunk and entitled. I had no choice.
Because he don't want to lose his job.
Yeah, that man, you can tell that man probably like 45. He probably make just enough to live.
I think he said he was like 65.
Nah, he like 45.
Oh, okay. Maybe it's
But he live in Alabama. I know they wasn't paying.
with the chip.
They wasn't paying him.
With the
That
chip
makes
was
sense.
65, but they're working that
Yeah,
chip.
bro was moving.
So,
Man with the show.
so, now so in the beginning we all thought it was. They kept saying it was a security guard,
Yeah,
but it turns out he was the first mate on the ship.
yeah.
So when I heard that, I was like, okay, wait a minute. So we trying to dock, we can't dock.
Right.
We're talking to y'all cussing us out and giving us the thing that he just walked off and we'll sat down and go have a meal
Right.
rather than move your boat. So then he has to get in a smaller, he has to get in a dinghy, go over to the dock, and he does that to move their boat. Now that I'm moving your boat out the way, you want to come talk to me.
Right.
And not only do you come like you want to talk to me, but you actually jump on me.
They was drinking. They was drinking.
Right.
Now they was drunk and they was entitled. Because he wasn't even being unreasonable. Yo, this is dock is made primarily for us. For this
This section, right.
this section is for
Yeah,
us.
not primarily. They probably pay for the spot.
Yeah, so all I want you to do is move so I can dock.
Now, this is ferry trying to dock.
Yeah.
The ferry is full of people.
Yeah.
So the people on the boat, they're frustrated. You can,
Yeah.
we just, I guess let me say this. It's safe to say that they're probably frustrated that you ain't moved either. So then when we see what you do, we come running. Because of what you did, and we've already built, because they say, I think they say like 40 minutes,
Yeah, waiting for y'all.
40,
to move.
45 minutes. You trying to get off, and you can't get off because he won't move.
And only 3 of us can swim. So it's like we can't do it like that. Y'all out here playing, man. I know how black people are. Like, there's only a few of us that can swim, man. Y'all playing.
Listen,
Have you ever been to a
They
house?
get nervous.
this is what I find hilarious. My wife can't swim. It doesn't make sense to me that for you to grow up in Edenville, the oldest black historic town in the United States,
Come on.
found August 17th, 1887. My wife can't swim. All the lakes around here, she grew up with a pool in her life, right down the street from her house most of her life. She can't swim.
Why you just kick the legs and do your arms like this?
Just had a pool.
Yeah, you got
No, I can't swim.
you got to get in the
Why you looking at
swim.
me?
But the point I'm making is, I just don't get how anybody can be in the state of Florida with all this water and not know how to swim.
Fear.
She's not the only one.
Just gonna say that, bro. I was just gonna say that.
That's no reason.
Man, I don't know the way we grew up. We was too broke to be
You've been afraid to get in the water.
Because we do everything free. Swimming is free.
All right.
When my mom told me to leave at 7 a.m. and don't come back
Yeah, you
till
can't
5, I had to find something to do.
That's what meant. That was somebody like we usually cannot come home in the summer.
Yeah.
If you come home, you done for
The
the
door's
day.
locked. You ain't coming in.
You're going back out.
Water hose, there's water right there.
You got to figure out how to eat with $3. You got to learn how to play for 12 hours because you can't come home.
And if you do come home, you're not allowed to go in the kitchen.
Yeah, you can't go to
If
the
you pop
kitchen.
your bicycle tube, you're just done.
Yeah,
Find
you
something else
done.
to do.
So we had to figure out how to do all this shit. Like we finna swim.
We had the Winter Park Community Center. You get a towel, you get your quarter, then it went up to 50 cents. And now you get with your squad and you walk to the Winter Park Community Center and you just swim.
To the pool club.
And they make you get out and take the little breaks, and we hated the breaks. You gotta get out and sit on the side.
Waterlogged. Yeah, man.
Ah. And then as soon as they blow that whistle, we back in the pool, man. We going all day, Grandma. There's no cell phone, there's no GPS chips in our arms.
What they do, you learn anyway. Yeah, they know exactly where you at.
Yeah.
Real thing.
Yeah. We only going to a few places. We gonna get out. We'll play ball until we
California,
dry.
actually.
Oh yeah, I seen it. They're working on it. Oh,
Put
they're
chips
working on
in
it.
people's arms for the whole family. They can track each other and all
Wow.
that.
Yes.
No, I'm good.
So
It's
I
got
would,
all the medical information in the chip and everything about the person, diabetes, epilepsy, whatever it might be.
Maybe on a necklace. Maybe if grandma got Alzheimer's, you get her a necklace. With
Yeah, I can just tell you now. I can just tell you what's going on.
the thing,
so she don't get lost.
I think the thing that most impressed me about what I saw, if you can be impressed by the Montgomery Ball, was when old boy hit that woman in the head with the chair.
Oh, I knew he was going to jail at that moment.
Is that how the
She-
folding chair was made?
He was 65. He had a moment.
It's not. It's not.
She got up.
It was a cop there watching him. They still hit him. It was a cop right next to him. It was a cop right here. He was right here. He swung again.
You know that
Hey, but
chair.
the other cop balled him up though.
That's just cops.
The other cop grabbed him and balled
Nowadays,
him up
they're
though.
just
I was
letting
like,
get away with stuff.
No, but you know,
he was the only person being aggressive.
Once he hit the woman, it was over.
Hey, that shit was so Alabama. You know, he didn't get arrested that day. They all went home. They got detained and they all went home. And then they had to call him and say, "Hey, you got to come to jail, bro." That's what happened. The guy with the chair they had, we still looking for Leroy. Come by.
Bro, they was all, the police were like standing there like licks were being thrown. They were like, stop. Okay, get one more. Stop. Okay, get another. Stop. Where
They were
at?
trying. Like they were trying to break it up
They
so
were
everybody
trying to
could
like
just
break
go
it up,
home.
but like, okay, this is enough. But everybody was like, nah, bro, this is so much.
No, because some
Yeah, they was tripping. There was a lot of people too, man. There was a lot of people.
If I'm being jumped, I would like to feel like somebody would see it and come and help.
Got your back.
yo,
That's why you ain't get stabbed in the back of the head instead of if it's in the
some
head.
stuff warrant a fight.
They was
It's
like,
okay.
she stabbed me, she ran away.
Some things you gotta fight for.
Yeah.
You gotta fight. It's okay. The chair was excessive, but it was fun to watch.
Man, the chair hurts your pride more than anything, man.
Nah.
The chair hurts your pride more
I
than
would say it
anything.
hurts your head more.
Yeah, but it's like, man, them chairs, they don't weigh a lot. That lady was fine, man. That lady was fine, man. She got right up. Yeah, she got right up when he hit her in there with that chair. Because it's going to catch the wind and it ain't going to hit with the full, you know.
But he
But
called
he
it
was swinging that thing.
He did. Now he hit a few people, but he called her clean.
Yeah.
He called
He
her
just hurt
clean.
their pride with that chair, man. He wasn't really damaging them. He wasn't hurting nobody too bad.
If you would have had two less people, you would have got arrested.
I grew up watching wrestling, man. We seen each other with chairs all the time, right? Yeah, you know.
He could have put the chair down and maybe it would have been all right.
Wrestling had us thinking it's okay to hit somebody in the head with a chair.
But it's a small town, so everybody in the video, they knew him. They're like, oh, that's Darius, man. They're like, yo, who this kid swimming? They're like, oh, that's Darius, man. He worked there. He's 16. They know his whole rundown in 3 hours.
Yeah, he jumped off the. That was
That was the
different.
best thing ever.
That
And then he
was
took his
different.
shoes off and was like,
He had to.
I'm
That was
here.
full of water.
He jumped in the water with his shoes on. Y'all thought that was strange.
Yeah, I'm trying to get out of some water
first.
with
Shoes,
shoes
pants,
full of water.
shirt, everything. That's why they.
That's why it took him so long to get over there. He had his shoes on.
Yo, he swim a ways now.
Yeah, it was a good distance.
That was impressive. Like, that was impressive.
Yeah, he probably got a full ride some style.
Yeah, overhand. Overhand.
Yeah, and then get his hair too wet.
Yeah. What's it called? Freestyle? Yeah.
Maybe this year he started out with a
That
swim
was like
team.
overhand.
That's how you know I'm like, we just swim.
Like he did like this right here and came out the water. You know how hard that is now? He's like,
You think he tried out for swimming? You think he tried
It
out
wasn't
for
all
swimming?
we was 16.
Nah, you know that was crazy. I don't think he had no formal training, bro. He just black.
he just like
Which stroke is that?
He just athletic as hell. Like
Freestyle.
you swim like half a mile, pull yourself on the dock.
I remember
It
seeing
was
this on
not
TV.
half a mile, bro.
Let me tell my story.
Man, why listen?
Let me tell my story.
Half a mile, that's 1,100. That's a lot of feet,
Bro, I
bro.
tell
You talking about like
No, wait,
that
I'm
was
talking
Marquis
a
Phelps.
mile
Yeah.
is 5,000.
I know in 2 years, I'm gonna tell you there was no boats. He just swam.
Can't swim, man. Came out of the ocean.
What was my thing is people was trying to make it look like it was some like giant civil rights movement, like
that's not what it is.
turn point in humanity, one small step for black people, one giant leap for
Man,
yeah, you know. And I was like,
For America.
man, there was some drunk people,
the
and
great
then they
stand out
started
there.
beating somebody up, and some other people came to help out.
That's all.
Like,
But that is America, though.
Yeah, the opposite said
That
that's
is America.
When you think about it,
You
bro,
know,
we
with
were
a lot of
younger,
these links and stuff
we would
to
help
Facebook,
each other without even, like, if I don't even know you, bro, I'm over there, like, here, let's go fight. Then you turn around, you like, now, like, people be like, okay, he's getting beat up. Like, for the moment, you like, damn, bro, this really, they came there and made me
Did y'all
Yeah,
see
but
that?
there's
Did y'all see that thing
no
in Compton
cameras, bro.
around 4th of July where the guy was driving through Compton, messing with people, pissing everybody off? Another guy said, well, I got a solution to this. He threw a whole bunch of fireworks in his door and slammed the door. The fireworks went off in this guy's car, right in the middle of the hood, in the middle of a four-way. And I was like,
oh, that's where they put the little half a finger down the
Yeah.
road, blew the door off? Oh,
They
yeah.
didn't even blow the door off. No, it blew up in there with
Yeah,
him.
blew up in your hood.
Yeah, that was messed up.
Yeah, bro, that's
I was like, oh, I know he wish he went home and stopped
Darius was
playing.
trying to do.
I got
But you know, yeah, you're right. It's the climate of America, right? Because if I saw like a brawl of everybody looking the same, what would I do? You know?
Right.
But if
Yeah,
I
but
see,
you will if it was the initial scenario, like if I saw a bunch of young black people, bunch of young black kids harassing another old black man, and he's right, at the very least, people gonna be like, leave that man alone.
yeah,
So like, there was a racial component because they were now. It was not only a racial component, but it was a class thing because they were of a certain class and they were white.
Yeah, it was a class.
So like they had a level of entitlement. Like to be loud and wrong is a certain level of entitlement that most people don't have.
That's America.
Right. So if you swinging at this guy because he literally just telling you to move. That's it.
Yeah.
So that's why I say in Black America, it's like somebody stepping on your shoes. You know, we little things become the catalyst for this thing to grow into this thing now where the whole world's talking about it, and then we want to make it what we want it to be.
If there was no cameras,
narrative.
if there was no cameras, everybody of color would have been in jail, and there would have been a whole different story told. Being that there were so many people.
I don't think they would have went to jail though because
it just went viral.
they in a small town where they
No, what he's saying is if there were no cameras, if there are no
If there's
cameras,
no cameras in rural Alabama or in Alabama, certain places in Alabama.
Roll Tide.
Road, yeah, there we go. Football season is upon us. But so when you sit there and you look at it,
I got the
really,
Roll Tide in there for you, baby. You see
who
that?
are we going to believe?
no, I'm gonna tell you why that because
We're more docile than America makes us to be, bro, as creatures, bro.
yeah, but the thing is that's a small town where they literally like when that happened, they literally was like, oh, that's such a the dude they was harassing. They literally like, oh, that's such and such. He lived down. They all know each other for the most part. So it's like
People that jumped on him didn't know him.
no, because they from another town over where they own like a gas station. Like it's a whole story to that.
Or they from Overthrow.
So
Yeah,
listen, if
they
there was
from like a smaller town, they from like a city like close to Montgomery, and they just go there to like hang out and bring their boat out and shit like that. So even the black people, they don't know them, but they know of them. Or those white people that own the gas station in such town, right?
Yeah, try that in a small
Right.
town.
So when they fighting them, they all know like, oh, these entitled white people that we don't necessarily know, but we know who they are, where they from, and they deserve this answer.
I
So
guarantee
it was
you
like,
right now, if that happened in Winter Park, bro, the story would be told different.
yeah, but that's Winter Park, man. This old money, man. Like
That story would be told
in
different.
Winter Park, there's somebody who knows somebody who owns slaves.
It wouldn't happen in Winter Park, man.
No, it wouldn't happen.
Them people not gonna try to be. They're not gonna try to swing on you.
No.
They gonna call the cops on you
They gonna
first
call the
quarters.
police.
Yeah, they gonna figure out a way to call the cops on you already. Yeah, we had cops calling us just because we was walking down the street.
Yeah, remember that?
So
You remember that?
it wouldn't win like that.
And that's why I say, too,
listen and call
given the
check it out.
situation, if it was 2023, when me and Jason had a situation with the police, bro, it would have been told, the story would have been told totally different.
But what was y'all doing? Being thugs, walking around?
No, we were going to work, bro.
Yeah,
We
right.
were teenagers
You gotta
going
go
to
to
work,
work.
bro. We were literally teenagers going to work.
Yeah, no lie. I'm like 17. I'm like 17, right? We working at facilities. He got me to hook up there. I'm walking to work. I got my locks. I got my full work outfit on. I get surrounded by squad cars.
You had the locks.
They start opening their doors and getting out and like pointing their guns at me from behind their doors and all that. They made me lay down for completely on the ground.
No, you
saying
were in
that-
the window at the drive-thru when I pulled up and it was raining.
No, I hadn't made it
I'm
inside
talking about
yet.
when I was at work. I was coming into work and y'all was looking at me through the drive-thru, and I got out the car and all the police were standing there, and they were like, "Oh no, we stopped him already." Like,
Yeah,
I'm
yeah,
like,
they laid me down. They
They
pointed
like-
guns
I'm
at
like,
me.
what?
I'm a kid. They said that I fit the description.
But you did,
Yeah.
because you had like
of
dreadlocks.
somebody that like did like a robbery or something. You know what I'm saying? and the manager, the white dude, then comes outside and he's like, "Hey man, what's wrong with y'all?" You know what I'm saying? Like,
So it
man, this
happened
is
to
Jason,
him,
man.
and then
He's
it turned
nothing
around and it
like,
happened to me.
and they're like, "Oh, okay, they did their things," and they're like,
My bad.
Yeah, they didn't even apologize.
No,
I don't think that they're allowed to admit fault.
I don't think they was wrong though. You look like a thug.
Yeah, go ahead, man.
You had tattoos.
I'm 17 years old.
You guys had
But given the
tattoos.
circumstances,
He making a
That's
joke.
crazy.
These people pointing guns at
Yeah,
me.
bro, it was
I'm 17.
serious. Like, it
cops
looked like
surrounded
3
me and they
times,
all
bro.
pointed
Like
their
2
guns
times.
at me, bro. They told me to lay on my face on the concrete, bro.
They were like,
I'm
"Oh,
walking
you
to-
robbed soldiers."
I'm
We
walking
like,
to
bro,
work.
we literally have on our work clothes.
Yeah, they telling me I
What are
fit
you
the
talking
description.
about?
Of course, because I had the locks. Of course, that is why they probably
You
did that.
did
to me.
fit a description.
You know what I'm saying? But that's trauma. That's traumatic. You know
Nah,
what I'm
it
saying?
is.
That's traumatic, bro.
But that's, I mean, I don't know. Maybe we do some.
I guess
like,
guess
from
what
the
else
park,
is
man.
traumatic? That goddamn chair. I just won't forget that.
But it's like our manager, who was a white dude, come out and he talking to these cops in a manner that we couldn't do.
We couldn't talk to
You know
him,
what
bro.
I'm
They would have put that
Yeah.
boy to that rifle on the back of their
saying?
head.
He more upset than me. You know what I'm saying? He coming out there, he more upset than me.
Your story is similar to what just happened to a little boy taking out the trash. Did y'all see that
Oh
one?
yeah, I seen that. Yeah, that's wild
And
too.
yeah, the boy was taking out the trash and got surrounded by the police. And his father had to come out and talk to them like, "Why are y'all bothering him?" And they put the boy in handcuffs
I just had
because
to
he
talk.
fit the description.
I just had to talk to somebody the other day about at the community center. Somebody coming in to warm their food because they don't have a home to warm their food in, so they came to warm their food up. The dude automatically he runs out of the room. I'm mentoring the kid. He runs out of the room. He's like, "He's got a gun." I'm like, "Who got a gun in here?" So I go in there and I see it's one of my kids' fathers that I know, and I'm like, "Bro, heat your food up. Just go ahead and leave." When the bar pull up, they ready to go, and I'm like, "This man did not have a gun. He just doesn't want him in here, and he used that as an antic to get y'all to come here fast."
Yeah.
Which was dead ass wrong. And I told him, I said, if this was old on the park, your ass would be up out of here. Because we would have ran him clean up out of this here.
So stuff like that
Stuff
is
like
what
that
made
is
the
what-
brawl, what made
what
people
made it so
turn the
special,
brawl
bro.
into what they turned it into.
Yeah, but that's, I mean, and we gonna do that.
Those
anyway.
weren't cops though.
They weren't cops.
We still do that anyway. Like when Nike had gave Kaepernick that money, like we all was wearing Nike like it was dashikis. We all need like a cause. We all want to have a cause because we like identity. When I saw it, I ain't look at it like a black and white thing. We rallied. I just seen people fighting, and it was right and wrong.
It was a wild situation.
It was
something that we weren't ready to see, and once you did see it, it was a thing of like, oh, are people taking back a sense of like?
Nah, I don't even think it's something that we wasn't ready to see, man, because it's not something that we haven't seen before. It's just we.
I wouldn't say that we weren't ready.
We all just need. We have to find some kind of identity to attach ourselves to. So we want to be like, it has to be like a white side, black side. Really, in that case, it was literally just a class thing.
You're the
I think
first
that's
person
what
that
the
done
problem
talked
is.
about it in
Yes,
the
we
past
were
2
attaching-
weeks. You know why? Because we don't stick to nothing wrong. Everything is a trend. That Lizzo situation and Beyonce mute thing has taken over anything that could have been positively taken from that Mississippi, Alabama.
Yeah, but
Because people don't stick to nothing.
all this shit is designed to be a divide. Even the black and white
Yeah.
thing. That's why it's fun to talk about, but it's all designed to be a divisive thing. It's all designed to be like it's black and it's white and it's this, it's that, it's class. It's really like it's all so you can pick a side. Like
So you never together.
I'm not really attached to anything that happened in Alabama. It just was fun to watch because I seen some entitled kids that were drunk and they got an ass whooping. I didn't look at it like it's this racial war. Like even like a few years ago, they tried to make it like this race war in the street. I'm from Winter Park. I know I've been racially profiled just like y'all had guns pulled on me. I can laugh about it. I can joke about it. I understand where I'm from. I understand where I'm at. I understand the history of where I'm from. I understand the history of Evil. I understand the history of Winter Park. But I also know that the divide is largely created.
Yeah.
The divide is largely created. I don't see. I don't. The first time y'all was here, I didn't walk in and say, "Oh, you like me?" But grab my gun. I just say, "Oh, you just be inviting everybody. Just kept it moving."
But that's the way that we do stuff. Because even in corporate America, right?
Yeah.
If it's 5 of us sitting there talking, this is what's crazy. It'll be 5 of us sitting there talking, and you know me, I'm like Malcolm X. I sit there, watch this, yo. And then somebody's going to come and intervene in the conversation because it's like, well, what are y'all talking about? It's like, none of your goddamn business. You know what I mean? But that's the world that we live in. Yeah. But if there's 5 white men sitting there talking, you don't go over there and be like, well, what the hell are y'all talking about?
So I do. I definitely do. I sure do.
I never felt uncomfortable. Like, until about 8 or 9 years ago, I never felt uncomfortable walking into a room of black people. And now, in the last 8 or 9 years as a white man, I have felt so uncomfortable walking into a room full of black folks or a gas station in the hood or something. Mm-hmm. And I never felt that way. I get goosebumps just talking about it because it's nothing that's going on inside me. Mm-hmm. It's stuff that's going on in the world around me, in the society around me. And so, I noticed that maybe about 2 years ago or so. And so it's like, and then like I'll pass like a black guy at a gas station, and I'm like this guy looks cool. He's cool, whatever. I'm gonna say what's up, and then he just walks right by me and uses his tunnel vision to look at me instead. He doesn't even want to acknowledge me. But that wasn't what was going on 10 years ago. It's getting worse in America.
And plus, it's like I was watching the Breakfast Club. The Breakfast Club now they have this lady who's, I think she's from Orlando. Her name's Teslyn Figueroa.
I was going to talk about that.
So they have her. So when they have political candidates on, they have her chime in.
Yeah.
Right. And she's very dismissive. And I got a point, and I'm like, and I'm going to tell you this. And so it's all race. So they had this black dude on the other day named Larry Elder.
Yeah, I see.
Yeah, I know.
He's like 71. You know Larry Elder.
I know Larry.
He's running for president. And he's conservative, but everybody say they conservative, they lean one way or the other. Yeah. He leans more Republican.
Right. He leans more right.
And so he's talking about, and I don't agree with a lot of the stuff he's saying, but the main thing he should talk about is the division of black and poor families.
Yeah.
That was done on purpose but he.
Yeah.
The reasoning is different for him than what it is for me. But the Breakfast Club, Charlamagne, Teslyn, they talking about race and systematic racism. This is why this and this is why that, and he can push back with facts and figures.
And he knows his numbers.
And he knows his facts and figures. Where he in 1940, 80% of the black people were poor, but it was less crime. Yeah. How do you explain that? Because the families were attacked. Now it's because the systematic racism is a real thing, but that's not the answer to every issue. And if you lean towards one thing, you like systematic racism, then you buy into the systematic racism because that shit is all a construct anyway.
Yeah.
The only thing that's real is the family.
Is dividing the family a form of racism?
Dividing the family is deeper than racism, man. That's why the powers that be, they are very family oriented. They don't even like each other.
No, but they're going to make sure they're strong, bro.
Go watch the Kardashians. They don't get along.
But they're going to make sure
they're a billionaire family because no matter what, if you come against the family, it's like the mob. If you come against the family, they're going to put you down.
Just to be able to get along with each other.
The Rockefellers, the Walls don't get along, but when he's trying to make a deal, let's go buy Denver. Let's go.
Admitted it.
If you do too much, we have to make sure you get along.
Yeah, that's what it's all about.
Families do
But
that.
I'm saying,
It's all about
when you
family.
want to destroy so if I wanted to create superiority amongst my group, I will figure out a way to destroy the family unit of another group.
Yeah, of every group except the group that holds the wealth. That's why 99% of the wealth is held by a group of people. And they all factions of different families.
But really, that's backwards because the way to build, my group that I'm in is to build other groups up with me, or build but not even groups. Screw the groups and the division. Unity as a whole.
But that's the whole point. That's why everything is divided to religion and to race into like sexuality, all these things that are just constructual things that are not really real things.
Those are just man-made
Because
things.
if 1%, let's say if you hold all the power, right? You hold all the power. Let's say just
Okay,
it's not a white thing. Let's say you have.
I was just saying, hey, I'm not letting this
We ain't gonna beat you up, man. These chairs don't come up. But let's say Baruti has all the power in the room. All the power is Baruti. It would behoove Baruti to make sure that you guys don't like each other, because if we all band together, then there's no way he has more power than him. Than us.
Yeah.
But if I say well, you guys are lesbians and nobody else likes you. You guys are black, nobody else likes you. You guys are women, nobody else likes you. All you got is each other. So then it's just these different factions.
Yeah.
And then if you add another layer of religion, okay, you guys are lesbian, but she's a Christian and you're a Jew and you're Jewish, and you guys don't believe the same thing. Then you separated that
even more.
Yeah.
Then you guys are so divided that you guys are fighting for an individual cause that's not even a real cause, and I just have all the power because you guys are fighting each other. None of this shit is real.
Right.
I force you to believe something that was false in order to get you to do what I want you to do.
Or I just want you to not think on the same page. I don't want you to do nothing else but not think on the same page.
Yeah.
I don't give a fuck what you do.
Wait a minute.
I don't even care if you get rich like me, because it doesn't matter, because the money don't mean nothing.
That's where it comes to, it's important to, like, just, instead of being so wavy with the things that are going on in the world, to just find a constant, and the only way that I can find that constant is through God.
Right.
You're an outlier.
And I mean, to me, it all boils down to family. Like family don't like, and family. It doesn't matter if you like me if we are family, because we have a vested interest. Our family name. That's why people hold on so tough to their family name, because it doesn't matter if we get along. I don't care. Just don't go against the family name. Don't be afraid of. You know what I mean?
Italian over there. What? Is he Italian chicken blood?
That's it.
Sometimes a family tripping though.
Hard times create strong men. Strong men create good times. And good times create weak men. And weak men create hard times.
Say that again?
Hard times create strong men. Strong men create good times. Good times create weak men, and weak men create hard times. When you hear that, what comes to mind?
So this really comes to mind for me because I'm going to plug another YouTuber here. His name's Warrior Poet Society on YouTube, and it's John Lovell. So on my birthday, June 30th, 2021, I was in active heroin addiction. I was sitting down in Tangelo Park at a gas station, and I saw this YouTube video of what it was kind of along the same lines of what we're talking about, what it means to be a man. And what he was talking about, I had the video up actually just a minute ago. What he's talking about is how being a strong man in society or a weak man in society is what creates the times in society, you know? And so I watched that video, and I wish I had time and I had Wi-Fi working here. I'd go look at the comment from that day, and then 1 year later, when I had a year sober, I re-commented again and said, thank you so much for this video, because 2 days after I watched this video, I woke up and felt like I was a weak man, and I went and asked for help.
Gotcha.
That video literally changed my whole...
Which was strength right there.
Yeah. Yep.
That's fire. That's what it's all about, man. Transformative. One person. Yeah. Whenever I'm on stage, if one person resonates with what I'm saying and they take it with them, I did my job. You know what I'm saying? And our mentoring. If we reach one of these boys, you know, we did our job.
Oh, I
You know what I'm saying?
so
Like,
every week, there's just one.
Yeah.
That one wants to be there.
Power in the small.
we seen the difference in these boys from when the program first started to now. Like, it's amazing. It's wild.
What gets interesting because you can know that you're doing. You can know that you're doing something
There's
good.
always an awareness of what you're doing.
Right. You can know that you're doing something good, and then you start doing it. But when you're doing it, it don't look.
It don't
look like what you thought it was gonna look like. Is in terms of what it looks like, in terms of time. It just for whatever
That's the main
reason.
thing, impatient.
Right. And then you look up one day, and you're like, damn, this is nice.
Yeah.
It worked.
Yeah.
You got to always separate the progress from the vision. It's rarely going to look the same when you be like, man, the way I envisioned it, and then how it, and you actually see
Understanding the
things
mission.
move. Yeah,
is
see
big
things
deal.
actually grow.
Yeah.
It's,
Your
that's
vision is
everything.
always bigger than your mission. And that's one of the things that I've realized, even when it comes down to us being mentors. Our visions are all like big and how we want it to go. But then once that mission is laid out, it's just a journey, bro. It's a journey that is unforeseen what's on the other side.
Is manhood a destination, or is manhood the destination, or is manhood the journey?
Journey.
The journey.
It's the dash, right? What's the whole dash thing? The saying?
Yeah.
You know, on your tombstone it says when you was born, when you die, and the dash is like,
What you do with that?
yeah, what you do. That dash
Growing.
is everything.
I'd
What
say
you do? What you do at that time? that you
Growing,
had.
changing, and being a better man every day that I wake up. Growing, learning from what I can do differently every day. Changing, asking God for help, and being a better person every day.
Okay, so if seems to be a consensus that it's the journey, right? So there's this thing that pops up on social media, and this is primarily one of the reasons I'm asking this question, is when people are talking about how you ought to come into a relationship. So, and it's like, come to me healed, right? And
No.
so, let's see. Now, when I hear that, it sounds ridiculous to me because, quote unquote, the quote unquote being healed is a never-ending journey. It's like it's the never-ending story. So you're not healed either, but you want me to be healed before I come to you. But you're not healed because healing is something that you are to do until your last day.
I'm only broken if I think I'm broken.
No, I don't think so, man. I don't think so. That's part of the problem. Is people feel like people don't believe they're broken. That's the only way you can say come already healed is if you believe that you're not broken.
Like coming from where I come from the hood, and from just like the shit that I was doing, like once I found a solution to that problem, I'm no longer that guy anymore.
Right. But that's what it is though.
Right. So what you talking about the journey?
Yeah.
Like who you were yesterday is not who you are today.
And it's not who I'm becoming either.
Right. It's not going to be who you are tomorrow. And I think that's a big part of the issue is when we can get so happy not being where we used to be that we don't go. We actually slow down, or we actually don't go to where we can go.
I was just talking
Right?
about this the other day.
So I said I actually got here in my notes is everything you know has brought you to where you are today, and everything you don't know is keeping you there.
Yeah.
Right? So you've got to constantly be open with a willing spirit to receive something so you can be or go to where you can go. And I just what's the word I'm looking for? When we're talking about it with the entitlement. There's a certain entitlement that we're using when we're talking about how somebody is to come to us in relationship. There's been a lot of action on social media lately. It's kind of got me in this space that I'm picking up on where people are complaining about one aspect or another as it comes to being in a relationship, and we're attached to concepts that are just false.
We talked
They're
about this last time.
just wrong.
We talked about this last time we were here. I think it was here that I talked about that. But you know, a little boy is not allowed to be a little boy anymore, and he's not allowed to grow up to be a man anymore. And excuse me if I offend anybody, but the women are taught that they have more power than the man, and so the family structure is being messed up because now this little boy is taught that he can be whatever he wants to be. He can be a female, he can be whatever. And so then the whole family unit structure of a man and a woman procreating and creating more family is getting thrown off.
Yeah, they teach them to be a pronoun. Never mind.
Agreed.
I'm not going to avoid the subject because it is what it is. It's stuff that needs to be talked about.
I've had where just talking because you said a little boy being able to be a little boy. I've had a conversation with a parent. She said he doesn't identify as a boy. I said, well, we go have boy conversations. We're not going to talk about periods because I don't know nothing about a period. I'm not going to bring women in here to talk about these little boys about a period.
Right.
But all
Because
women don't have periods. Sometimes people have periods. Come on,
I'm
man.
just saying, just in general.
Get with the time.
But at the end of the day, that's where the conversation is at. Is okay, well, then you don't cater to all boys. Hold on, man. You just told me he wasn't a boy. That's the problem.
Right.
You see?
Yeah,
You see what I mean?
I see
There's
it now.
the problem. So when I said that, she got up and walked away. I said, have a nice day, man. Because that's the end of the conversation. Because you just said he wasn't a boy, but you want him to be in the boys program, but you want me to talk about these things. Talk about them things in your house. If that's what you want to do, talk about them in your house.
I didn't know this was at the program.
Yeah,
what the
this
heck?
is somebody wanting to
Put their boy in
put
a
their
boys
boy in a
program.
boys program, but he's a them. He's a them a they. That's what she's identifying him as, a them a they, but
I try to stay open-minded on it.
I'm very open-minded, but I'm very closed door too.
Hey, but
Here's the facts, here's the door.
let's be honest. Why don't you have a date program?
Okay,
Yeah.
wait on that. I got another T for you. I got another TA for you. That. Wait on that.
You good with these nouns, man. Maybe you should think about it.
Pronoun.
You good at it.
I'm just saying, man. You gotta throw it out.
Listen, man,
So how
the
do
world,
these children
the world
know
world's
that
changing.
they are not, that there's a they and them, or that,
Doesn't matter.
whatever, how do they know this?
Somebody
It's coming from
introduced
their
somebody
parents.
first. Somebody introduced them to
Here's the reality. We don't know. We don't know that they know. Right? I've had people say to me, because when we're talking about 30-something years ago, right? When I began to have more encounters and conversations with gay people, men and women, and we would have, and I would ask, and I'm curious because I don't get it, so I'm curious and I'm asking questions. I say, and the question is, how do you know? And people would say to me, I always felt like I was a woman, or I always felt like I was a man, right? And I was like, I don't get how you know that. I hear what you're saying, but if you are not a woman, how do you know how a woman feels to know that you feel like a woman? I can rationalize, and maybe that's the problem because I'm rationalizing.
Yeah,
but I can rationalize that you have an idea of what a woman is, and you feel like that. But how do you know if that is really what it is? Right? So I'm not against it. I'm just trying to connect the dots. But normally when we get there, that's when it all falls apart because it can't be explained.
There's no real connection. That's like because we don't understand that we androgynous beings and we have title. We're having to be titled everything.
Right.
So if I cry, they say, "Oh, that's a girl cry."
Right.
or if I feel empathy or compassion.
Everything gets a label.
Yeah, everything has a label. So
Yeah.
so if I know this and I'm a little my child, and I have a moment where I feel like I should cry, then girls cry. If I cry often, then I must be a girl. To not just to overly simplify it.
Right.
So compounded with that, if you introduce these ideas of like you can be born a boy but feel like you're supposed to be a woman, compounded with the simplicity of gender identity, and you put it together, then you are confused. So because it's all feeling based without logic. Life don't work feelings and logic separate. It works together.
Logic and emotion.
What I was going to say is kind of in tandem with what you just said, with the idea of the labels and the titles for everything. But when we try to put logic to it, that is where the confusion comes from. That's where the confusion is, because what's logical to us may not be logical to someone else. And when we are operating like off of what we feel or what we think or what we feel that we may know, it may not be logical. That's like when we talk about the $5 Indian. And people say, well, where's the proof of this? How do you know? They want us to pull up history that somebody else wrote to show them proof that we know that we know. Like, they may dream this or feel this or all of these things, but the only explanation they have are these titles and labels that other people have made up to divide us. So then that's how it becomes confusing, because then you want them to give you a logical explanation when they can't provide that with the tools that we have given them.
Right.
So it can be very confusing for them. It can be very confusing for everybody, I feel. But I feel like you can't really have that conversation of this is not logical, because where are they going to pull the logic
It's
from?
just relative.
Yeah, I mean,
It really is.
some of it is relative, but some of it is you can match it with logic. You can. So the only thing that makes sense to me about that is non-binary. It basically means that I'm everything.
Right, but when you talk about being androgynous, like some people want to know where's the logic in that.
The logic is simple as far as being androgynous. As a man, you are the most physically androgynous as you can be physically, because you have nipples, you have breasts, and these are for feeding children. And we can't feed children because we're not women, but we still have the parts on the exterior parts. That's simple. You look at it. That's natural. Your body naturally saying that you started as a woman, and then somewhere down the line, you are a man because of your genitalia. So you literally have both parts at the same time.
So empathy is where we're at in this world today. So being able to show empathy. So this is what I face when it comes down to having conversations with people. Being a black man in America and being around so much of this different pronouns and the people that I work with know our pronouns and everything, it's more of like, okay, I understand you. I hear you. That shit still doesn't change how I feel, but I'm going to give you your space to be able to be you at this time. So if we can do that and say, okay, I'm showing you enough empathy to where you feel accepted in this space right now, to when we go outside, guess what happens? I go back to whatever life I choose to live, and you go back to yours. But I'm not forcing you. I'm not forcing my opinion or what I feel as facts onto you.
But that's the disconnect, though, because it used to be that. It used to be, hey, whatever you decide you are, I'm cool with.
Yeah.
Now it's
never
now
like that.
no.
You always said that about Prince. Prince will walk in and take everybody later. But then when you see Prince, you like, oh, he's such and such.
No, but listen to what I'm saying though. It used to be, whatever you decided you live your life as, we were cool with.
Yeah.
Now it has become, I have to agree with you, even in my own
Yeah,
head.
it's like you're forced to agree with them, and that's why I say you have to show a level of empathy in these conversations to where it's like, okay, I understand you, I hear you, cool, and go on your day. Because I'm sitting here, this person, he's a preacher by day or whatever. I mean, he's engineer by day, preacher by night or whatever. This person is this. This person is out having whatever ball and put ecstasy in all types of places. But we're all in the room and we have to make a powerful decision on something. So it doesn't matter what you are outside of this conversation. I need to be like, I have to show you empathy in what it is that we're doing. Right.
But the danger is it has become where this kind of verbiage is being used now. If you don't agree with me, then you don't see me.
Yeah,
I'm not real.
And that's the problem. But in order to beat that, because everything is like it's a race, it's an ongoing race. In order for me to surpass that, I gotta say, okay, so you're a pastor. I may not believe everything that's in the Bible. I may feel like Shakespeare wrote parts of it. But I'm not going to push my thoughts and what I feel onto you just because that's what I feel. I'm going to sit there and listen to you. Okay, cool. I read about that. Okay, that's nice. Cool. Boom. And we're going to go forward. It's when we start spending too much time on certain things is when people start feeling either uncomfortable or you're going too left or too right.
But that's the thing, though. But that's the thing now. So you're allowed to come and give me your whole entire spiel, but if I give you a piece of what I think,
that's the big
it's
problem.
friction there. So this is not. So then this whole interaction is not even.
It's not even an honest interaction.
Yeah, it's not real.
And that's business.
No, but it's the thing
I
though.
do it all the time.
Yeah,
Bro.
I'm saying, you already know, that's business.
I don't bite my tongue.
All right, cool.
I don't even bite my tongue. I just don't say nothing because there's no point.
Yeah,
You know what I'm saying?
This is why I don't say nothing at all. It's not even about. It's not about the conversation. It's about the legislation. Who gives a fuck what you think and what I think? But when it starts to be law that I have to acquiesce to what you feel or what you think,
You got your tongue pierced?
then it's different. Nah, I got my tongue pierced.
You got something white on your tongue?
Well, that's a tic tac, man.
Everybody looking at the camera now.
Somebody be deep into something. Then do some shit. Oh, you done got sassy on that. You done got sassy on that.
Hey, first of all, I'm non-binary. I can do whatever the fuck I want.
Shout out to Wayne Brady, man.
Hey, Orlando back, man.
Here's a question. When the feelings become more valuable, when the feelings become more valuable, now I apologize, I'm at a loss of words right now, so I'm kind of stuck with this. When the feeling becomes more valuable or more important than when does let me say this better. When does what you feel become more important than what I think? When does what you feel become more important to
what you feel
That's
important
good.
than what I think?
That's real good, man. That's great. I don't. Is it?
Okay, so let me give you another one. We can take two at a time because these guys are going to get out of here soon. The other one is, where does God end and you begin?
nowhere.
That's a trick question.
To become one.
That's a riddle. That's a trick question right there. I don't think it's a thing.
What?
I don't end. God don't end.
Right, you gotta
It
get
is
to
what
like
it is. I'm God. God is me.
what God is.
We here. We everywhere.
That's what I want you to think about for a while.
I am.
God is everything.
That's a lemonade shot question.
I went to the bathroom 3 times already because I had so much of these bubbly experience. Strawberry raspberry.
So the reason I'm kind of asking these questions is because we're talking about being able to separate things.
Yeah,
There's a thing that's there to separate things, to separate us for lack of a better word, control.
I'm gonna say separation is like an illusion, man.
Right. So
We all here together. We've
If
been convinced that we're in these different individual
But maybe
groups.
it's the same with God though. So with the God question, it's the same, right? So like, if they're trying to separate you, what would make you think they didn't try to separate the inside of you too?
right,
So for you to think that God is like some presence outside of you, maybe that's the ultimate separation.
Right.
You know? So if you don't realize that God is inside of you, man, you're lost. If you're, come on, man,
Yeah.
God, it is what it is.
That's
If there's a God inside of you and you don't know there is one,
right,
like you're completely lost.
right.
You don't know who you are anymore.
That's the crazy thing
And
about
I
it.
think that's the division. That's the first division.
People who, especially people who are like who speak of God, they always. Sometimes we say things we don't realize what we're saying.
Yes.
So like they'll say like God's in me. They'll say God's in my heart, or God is in me, or through Christ and strength. Like all these things mean that it starts here. It starts. We all, but and then in the grand scheme, everything is God, and God is everything. And then most beliefs and faiths, religion, especially Abrahamic faith, they believe the same thing.
Yeah.
It's just small details that we make big details, and then we say it's different.
Yeah, it's like that with physics too. Like, you get into like what controls matter, and then like it kind of goes to like a blur because there's nothing more that controls matter than
Right.
you.
Right.
Right? Like thought in the brain. Like, well, it's thoughts, but thoughts are like this wave pattern that come from brains.
Right.
Right.
And this is what controls matter.
Do they?
But you don't know.
Yeah, but
That's the whole.
No,
Your
but-
thoughts come from your brain. Your brain is a computing system.
True.
You know what I'm saying? Your brain computes what it's given. You know what I'm saying?
that's
So
right.
it's like
That's
But what
another
is it
lane
given,
for
though?
that conversation.
What is
but-
your brain given? That goes back to the first thing we asked about I feel versus I think.
Yeah, because
thoughts come
When-
from
when-
thoughts come from the
when
cloud, man.
I'm having conversations, and this is I guess you could say for lack of a better word, just for the sake of this conversation, it becomes a gender thing, right? So my grandmother used to say this to me all the time when I was a child. She said, ask a man a question, he'll tell you what he thinks. Ask a woman the same question, and she'll tell you how she feels. Right? So now at the stage in my life when I'm having conversations and I ask someone what they think, because I'm either going to ask you what you think, how you feel, or what do you know. I'm going to ask those three questions. So if I ask someone what they think and they tell me how they feel, I understand that they're not answering the question I asked. Right?
Or
I
maybe
understand.
they haven't allowed that feeling to evolve because a lot of what we think, like just to feel something, if I touch something and I feel it, like feelings is more than just emotional. The feeling of things send the signal through our nerves to our brain. So then that's how we start to process even what we think. First starting with how we feel about something.
But it doesn't work that way. And I'm not being just. I'm not trying to be disrespectful.
No, I'm not taking it
Let me say this better. According to goodness, Dr. Caroline Leaf, she's a neurologist, is think, feel, choose. She said it happens less than a second or a millisecond, but everything we do, first we think, then we feel, then we choose. It's not we feel, then we think. It's we think, feel, choose. So
what's
every
the
feeling you
science
have.
behind that, though? Because what's the science behind that?
She isn't. I'll get you a copy of her book. The science.
Neurological.
It's neurological. So everything you feel is based upon first what you think. You have a feeling about what you think.
And those are based off your experiences.
Right, and that's part of it. That's part of it. So that's why I get curious about, and I love what you said.
That's why feelings are.
I love what you said.
I don't agree with that though, but I just feel like maybe that's just her theory.
I've heard
No,
it explained in one of the treatment centers that I was in. Actually, they explained think, feel, act is the proper use of the will about it. And yet, I would always have it backwards. I would always act, and then I would think about that, and then I would feel all remorseful,
Right.
or I would feel, and then act, and then maybe think.
Right.
Or something like that.
Right.
Sometimes I'll just act, Anyway, so when I TFA, think, feel, act. You said Dr. Lee used a different one.
Choose.
But I've heard that before as well, and it kind of made sense to me too.
I mean, honestly, all this shit is interrelated. That's the funny thing. So even down to like logic and feeling. So let's take like what is it? Astronomy. Let's take astrology. Right. So astrology is a scientific fact as well as like a spiritual fact. When the moon's in a certain place or Jupiter's in a certain place or Venus is in a certain place, you feel a different way, you behave a certain way, right? But it's also scientific calculation where they can give you an exact number, how far it is from each other, even down to the pyramids. The mathematics is exactly the same as what is below is above. The mathematics is exactly the same,
Right.
Even say that in the Bible.
But it can be described as an emotion, but it's hard to describe. But you can say I feel it,
Right.
so you feel numbers, you feel the mathematics. It's also and they've also like dissected like genetic code. And if you dig deep enough into genetic code, there's numbers in genetic code. This shit is all interrelated. So when you try to separate the two, it doesn't work that way. That's why we are androgynous. Because we are both logic and emotion at the same time. It's just the way it balances different based on your gender.
And it's like because what you're speaking to is the idea of what you're speaking to is the idea of when you're. And I apologize. I'm going to go get real primitive with it. When you're thinking about buying a car, and you see a car that you like that you want to buy, all of a sudden you see that car everywhere you go. Right? So it's like neutrons, that's what it is. When they say neutrons, the way electrons, I think the way it works is they will actually, when you want to see them, when you study them under the microscope, when they know you're looking at them, you can't do two things at one time. You can't see it and track the speed. You can't do both. It's one or the other. Right? So when they are aware, according to science, when they are aware that you're looking at them, they stop so that you can see them. Right? But when you're trying to track the speed, they keep moving so you can track the speed. So it's like our thoughts are controlling the energy and the matter around us, right? To kind of maneuver. So
and they filmed it.
Right.
They filmed it.
Yeah. Right.
They tricked it into believing something.
Right.
Like believing something.
Right.
And then doing it a certain way.
Right. That's why your statement, if you believe it,
it is true.
Just because you believe it, don't make it true. But if you believe it, it makes it true.
That's what Lizzo did.
Yes, that's the mind fuck. Is it all? That's all this shit is. All this shit is the same shit. Is the mind fuck.
That's why you gotta do some DMT, man. Because
Hey, one time it'll never be the same.
yeah, because then you'll be like, okay, yeah, I don't know shit.
Right.
But you'll have so much peace. Because then you'll stop thinking you know all this shit that you don't really know.
Because we don't.
This is so beyond us. Like I'm literally thinking, and my hand is doing this.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And some scientists got a reason and this and that.
And
But man, come on, man.
And that's what people
this
be
shit
like.
is out of here,
People be
dog.
like, what does the science say? The science is political too. It says whatever they wanted to say at the time it says it.
Right.
Do you know it the same way that your emotions change when the planets are in different positions?
Yeah.
It's hard to get the signal in your like walkie-talkies and your phone changes as well.
The first day of Venus retrograde, my ex from years ago called my phone like she wanted to see me. The first day, dog.
And what happened?
Retrograde.
This was another time. This happened before in the past. For anybody trying to be nosy. Why?
You see how that's related to the frequencies of your walkie-talkie? It has nothing to do with each other, and it's all the same shit.
But somebody will say Venus retrograde is complete crap, you know.
But it's science. It's like people be thinking like when you talk about like Leo and and they think that's something made up. That's scientific shit that not just our ancestors to ancient people knew. How does ancient people know the calculations of the moon and all this shit? And then it took people who are like the advanced race or educated people 3 centuries to learn, and they just knew it.
The Dogon tribe was aware of star systems that you can't even see with the naked eye.
And they just found them and say, damn, this tribe that we gave them a name said that 4,000 years ago.
I think that's, it's like it's been dumbed down and handed to us to try to explain the unexplainable. Right. We don't. The reality is, we don't know any of this. Right. So, but we have to be, or we choose to be, in agreement for the moment, for the thing.
Right.
Like we all are in agreement to be here today for this moment.
Right.
For the thing.
Right. So, but my father-in-law said years ago, and it bugged him. We were looking at something, and somebody said a bird. I think a bird was flying by, and we made a comment about what kind of bird it was, and we said, well, we don't know what kind of bird that is. We just decided to call it that. The bird may not call itself that. It may not even say it's a bird. Right. But we are all in agreement that when we see that thing in the sky that looks like what we call a bird, we're in agreement to call it a bird.
Right.
But that's because, so we choose. Again, there's systems in place that we are taught to use, and we either continue to participate and be in agreement, or to be in disagreement. Right. When we start talking about relationships and how we get along, being in disagreement without being disagreeable, I think is key. We all know that we're not perfect, and we know that we're all good, we're all bad, and we can still all be extremely ugly. We know that. That's who we are. So if that's the situation, appreciate you guys, appreciate it. So us knowing that, we know that we are.
Thank y'all for coming through, man.
Appreciate you. We know that we are limited, and we know that we are limitless. But and all of that boils down to all of that boils down to our imagination and what we think and how we decide to do that. Right. So.
You know how we say right. We don't say correct.
Right.
We say right. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
So it's like, why do we say right? Why do we say right?
Because it's the way it works. And what's interesting is I say right a lot, and my wife say I don't know. Right? My wife will tell me that I don't know if that's right or not. She's real good. I said right. She so says right. She said I don't know if that's right or not. You got to keep talking, keep explaining. But when I'm talking to my mom about something, my mom asks me a question, I'll say correct.
Yeah.
Right.
It's polarizing, right? Because the right side is the feminine.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
But they the wrong side. That's crazy.
And the spiritual path is some teaching is called the left hand path.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? It's like, dog.
Yeah, that's the shit is crazy, man. Because that's what I always say, man. Like the emotion and the logic is the same shit.
But right now,
I heard a barber say like you can feel the mathematics.
oh, for sure.
Yeah, you can feel it, man, and scientists prove it. And also when they prove it, they shy away from it and then they go the opposite way because in proving that like astrology is real, it would like it'll bring power to scientists who believe that already. It'll make it because
debunk some stuff.
Right,
it'll open up the door for more stuff.
Scientists are fueled by the power of their theory. Mm-hmm. If their theory is proven true, they are famous and powerful. Right. If that theory is proven wrong, instantly they lose everything.
And you notice when it's something that's scientific is like scientific breakthrough changes the fabric of humanity for that.
Exactly.
Like humanity has to change now. And so these people, some people are in the business of not facilitating that change.
Right. Especially if that change makes your life less profitable, or makes you less powerful, or both. Right.
Or make the people more powerful, you know what I'm
Or
saying?
make more, it's always just to make the people more powerful.
Right.
They always lose. So there'll never be a breakthrough where it makes the people more powerful.
No, they will. No, there have been.
I mean, it'll happen, but it'll happen it'll be worded and presented in a way where you won't catch it unless you're like on that level to catch
But
it.
it's like the powers that be always seize control right before. Tesla looking for energy that's more sustainable, that lasts longer, that costs less, and dies.
Right.
And then now it becomes profitable to have an energy that lasts longer, that's more sustainable, that costs less.
Right.
They all profit. Now in 2020 and 2030,
Yeah, for sure.
you'll be able to make gas cars.
Right.
So it's always going to be not going to be accessible to the lower level. It's going to always be.
And see, and that's
power that be.
again, when you're playing the game, and you don't make the rules, I can change the game anytime I feel like.
Right.
And that feels like what happens more times than not. That it's like shout out to Zoe Williams. Zoe, in a conversation with Quincy Jones, said Quincy was known to say, "Go get your money." Go, you talk to all the people that he worked with, well, not all of them, but he would say, "Go get your money. You out here making this music. Go get your money. Then go see if that money has any power."
Right.
So when Jeremy's sitting here saying it doesn't matter, it's not even about the money.
Right.
That's accurate, right? Just because you have all the money in the world to buy something that I have, you can't buy it unless I sell it.
Yeah. Or you'll see how much pushback you get. There's a restaurant, it's called A Hungry Black Man, that's coming to Orlando. It's like a vegan restaurant, black owned by, of course. But he recently posted on his IG that they were trying to put it in Tampa.
Right.
And he was like, man, y'all, for some reason, Tampa is like going out of its way to like not let us be here. So
Right.
Fortunately, we're gonna be opening in Orlando.
Right.
So it's like you can have the money, you can have the business loans, you can have the business credit, you can have the numbers and analytics to
You
show
can do
that
all
this
the
and
stuff
that.
that
But
we
if
told people.
certain people don't want you there, they'll figure out a way. Walmart couldn't build a Walmart in Winter Park. Winter Park was like, no.
No.
Winter Park was like, well, no,
We'll
bro.
take
You're
these
not
two
bringing
policies that
you're
you
not
walk-
putting a Walmart over here, dog.
So that poor people can shop here.
Yeah, we don't. That's not what we want. And a Walmart gonna reshift your whole
Yeah.
economy,
To
dog.
speak on that, this is how I know it's facts. They built a new YMCA right off of Princeton, you know, for a while. That one does not have a basketball gym for that main reason. Because they know it brings a different
Dang,
demographics
that's
of people.
wild.
And because white man can't jump.
That's it, that too. But like, and I noticed
That's
when
a
you look in the
YMCA
space,
without a basketball gym?
they don't have a gym, bro.
That's
Even if they was the
crazy.
building, it will look odd because the way that Y is shaped in that area, the field spaces around it, it will look a little awkward if they was to build one.
You
It
know
would be
what's
a
up.
completely
You
separate
know what's
building.
up.
Yeah, they
You know
purposely
what's up.
did not build a gym for that facility.
Not over
Yeah,
here.
they bring a different demographic. And I mean, you got the College Park side, and they know what the money is, and then across the tracks, you know how to turn this.
Right.
Princeton past that Walmart,
Right.
it's the hood.
Right.
They know that.
Right.
They bring a gym, that side of town, those people are going to come to work out at this gym for two reasons. One, we know that for us, we can actually have a basketball game without no drama. Let's be real, we know this.
Right.
Versus going to the hood, yeah, I can play ball in the hood, but I might have to worry about the drama.
Right.
Having a little dude bump me in the foul, whatever.
Right.
Versus I might have a tussle with somebody over there and might not get escalated. Oh, my bad, bro, and continue playing.
Right.
They know that.
Yeah.
Right.
They know that.
Right.
They purposely did not build a gym at that facility for that reason.
Dang, that's wild.
Which makes sense, right?
That's wild.
Man.
So do you think feelings are facts? I wanted to go to that. Do you believe feelings are facts?
Yeah.
Do you believe feelings
Oh,
are
you talking
facts?
to me?
Oh, y'all.
No, I feel like I really don't know what a fact is. Like a fact is something that has to be proven. If I can prove my feelings, so they can be.
That's
But-
interesting. Okay, I'm not going to go. I don't want to go ahead.
But I was gonna say, like, there's sometimes when it comes to like things that are factual, people remove feeling from logic completely. Like when Jeremy was just saying, like they have to work together. But like going back to the whole Indian and Native thing, I have dreamt about things. I've woke up and felt a way, but I haven't seen anything that's laid out in writing. That's why they burnt libraries down. That's why they burnt cities down. They flooded cities and all of this to get rid of what would seem logical. But I've had feelings. I've had dreams and things that are showing me this, and I can't say that it's fact. I can't say that it's wrong, but I can think about it. That's why I was saying, like, I will feel and then think about, like, process my feelings and come to a conclusion to what I know based on how I feel, how I think about it, and now I can say, okay, I know this is true, regardless of anything that may seem logical to somebody else or what they wrote down in their book. So,
I mean, especially when you remove logic from feelings, you get things like the pronoun game, because it's all just facts and figures. It's all like, hey, I feel like this, and so you call this, so I'm gonna call this that, and you can't prove it. It's all removed from each other, so it doesn't make sense.
That's the beauty
and it
of
don't
it.
feel right at the same time.
That's the beauty of it, because you can't prove it. You know what I'm saying? Like, okay, all these experiences that I've had with like DMT, with mushrooms, with just meditating. You know, the things that I've seen in my meditations, the places I've been in my meditation. I can't prove that to nobody.
Right.
You know, I can't prove it to you. You can sit and be like, yeah, you can be like, bro, you off your rocker, but like,
You are.
what I saw, it wasn't no Super Mario dancing with Luigi. This was like some major revelations type of thing. But that's the beauty of it, because it's like, it's not my business to go out here and try to prove to nobody, because I was shown that when I was ready to be able to be shown that.
Right.
And that's anything with life. If you're working at a job for this amount of years, all of a sudden they come between the office and say, hey, we're ready to show you this side now.
Right.
We want to put you here. And then you're going to see a whole different part of the infrastructure now.
Right.
You know, because you've been deemed that
you
you're
get a promotion, and if you get a promotion, it's like when you get a promotion. It's like you get a promotion. Like before you're doing the job, and you're on this side of doing the job, and you're like, this don't make no sense. Why are we doing this way? This don't make no sense. And then you get a promotion. And then you look at it and say, wait a minute, that does make sense.
Yeah.
Because you're looking at it from a different place.
When you take those blinders off, is when reality really hits you.
I mean,
and like it becomes
it
your
ain't not
reality,
about blinders. It's just about being
but they
expanded.
they have the blinders on us. Hold on 1 second. They have the blinders on us, bro. Because you know and I know, I've taken a little trip before, and it was like, oh, bro, I see things totally different now.
Yeah.
And then I can't tell you because you'll never understand me, but the way that I operate is based off of me seeing things totally different in a different atmosphere and saying, okay, everybody's sitting here with me, but nobody's feeling what I'm feeling right now, and I can't explain to you. But then when I'm sitting in my office and I'm like, now that makes sense. I see this now. Okay.
You know the tricky thing is it's a little bit of truth in all of it, even the lies.
Yeah, it's a little bit of truth in all lies. It's called false facts. That's what they call it.
It's fake news.
So, okay.
I had a bar like that. I can't remember the song.
It's-
They said the truth is in the lie.
Have y'all seen They Clone Tyrone yet?
I have not.
Oh, you gotta see that movie.
I have not. I was going
You
to.
need to watch that movie, and then you need to have
It's
another
everything
one.
we talked about at this table for the last
Well,
8 years.
yes, facts. I have to, no, because me and Jay have seen it.
Right.
I have to agree with him on that.
Yeah.
Everything you have talked about, that movie is, in a nutshell, it speaks to the general masses that, like he says, have not took the blinders off.
Right.
But for those of us that have, when you watch it, you can be like,
Yeah, we don't fit, bro. Once you take the blinders off, bro, we don't
knowing you,
fit,
you can be
bro.
like, oh yeah, I've been said this.
Yeah.
They just not catching up now, and they using entertainment.
That's why it
Man,
wasn't
you
so
always-
entertaining to me.
Yeah, that's why, you know, comedians, I always feel like you said false facts. Comedians are the best at giving, I'm going to say false facts, but they're the best at giving facts underneath a joke.
Yeah.
But if you're not looking at it, you're not going to catch the reality of the truth they're spitting to you, because you're too busy giggling and laughing.
Yeah.
But then
But
when
the
you go
person
back, like
that's
you said,
spoken
you
of-
go back and watch it again, and you listen to Cat Williams, and you listen to, you know what I'm saying, this person, and Martin Lawrence.
He's
and you
telling
listen
you
to-
exactly
you
what's
listen to,
going
you know
on in
what I'm saying?
Hollywood, bro.
Dave
Everybody
Chappelle
else
be like,
thinks it's a joke, bro.
wait a minute. I see what you're talking about now.
Right.
When you look beyond the joke.
Right.
Because my thing is, you rather be right or be effective.
effective.
You know what I'm saying? And so like we're in this time where you see people in there, and everybody shooting off opinions to be right. But if we're not coming to an understanding of each other, or like he said, disagreeing but not being disagreeable and different things like that, this is not effective communication. I believe that effective communication should be a class that should be taught at every level.
Yes.
You know what I'm saying? But we know why it's not.
But it's a Bible ladder.
So I said
The ladder of Bible.
I said that to one of my leaders at work. That he needed to learn how to use effective communication, because the way that I speak to him is in the same way he speaks to me. So I told him, I said, you can lower your tone, and also we can talk about the subject in a different way. He got offended by that. I'm like, I didn't say anything wrong. I just told you lower your tone, and we can talk comfortably about the situation. It doesn't be.
Now we have a time where if you're offended, then that gives you the right
to get louder.
You have a valid reason to not process anything that has been said to you.
Which is so if you're going to use language, and this is to Jordan Peterson's point, if you're going to use language, you have to be able to risk offending someone to express yourself.
Oh, it's gonna happen.
You understand what I'm saying? So if, and this is, for me, if I'm talking and someone says something and I feel offended, I get triggered, I realize that the person I'm talking to didn't do a damn thing to me.
Yeah. No.
Right? I'm at the place now where I'm like, oh, dude, did you just feel that? Yeah. Okay. And then I put it to the side, and then I stay focused on the conversation. The work I do later is I say, now, when he or she said what they said and it offended you, why did that offend you? And then I slowly take a journey. I might have to journal it down if I don't get to it right away. But eventually, what happens, I get back to a time and place in my life where this other thing happened over here 5 years ago or 15 years ago. I didn't deal with it then. So now everybody that I've encountered on my journey or in my journey will do this thing that offends me, and I've been blaming them because I didn't do the work here.
Mm-hmm. Yes.
Right? So I'm at the place now where when I get triggered,
you may not even be aware of the word.
Right. But you are.
So now you want to make everybody else aware that they need to use this type of language around you.
Yeah, right. You need
you gotta walk on eggshells.
Everybody needs to modify themselves for me, but I don't need to do my work.
Because I'm not wrong.
Right.
Because I'm not wrong.
Right, which is don't make no sense.
Yeah.
Now, I heard somebody say you need to honor my triggers. That's
not how this goes. That's not how this goes. Them your triggers.
Like with our mutual friend, that's a woman, and she took a job in Dubai, and I left her coming. I said, "Oh, good, you're about to learn how to behave as a woman should." You know what I'm saying?
How'd that go?
She laughing with me because but somebody else came in the comments and was like, "Hey, don't do that."
Because you don't understand the joke.
Dude, it's just like
it's sarcasm that you don't get.
Yeah, all we do is joke with each other, but because of your triggers and feminism and whatever scars you have from your experience as a woman,
right?
You just took that and found a way to like revalidate that in this moment and reinstill this identity that you have. When
me and this woman literally joking about how that's not how you should treat women.
But you having that conversation on a social forum, which is open for people to take it how they're going to take it and respond. And
for sure, I didn't respond. Yeah, I just didn't respond because I know I'm not responsible for that. I don't owe explanation. I don't need to say no. That's just my friend. We're just joking. No, you gonna have to come to some place and realize that you keep getting enraged every other day about something that's said by somebody. Yeah. When are you going to take your power back?
And you free to respond.
And I got compassion for you because I get it, but I ain't going to apologize to you, and I don't have to explain myself to you. That's only at my discretion if I want to.
And especially something like that where I'm looking at it and I know that, you being manipulated by this identity that you adopted. You are a feminist black woman, and then it's like, what does that really mean? That's just an example. It's a whole bunch of other title that people have.
There's a feminist man playing.
Feminist man. What?
There's a feminist man
But
playing rugby in Australia.
You've been manipulated by these monikers, and that's become your identity, and you have to fight towards that identity no matter what.
And that's why I said this a long time ago. Joining things is something I look to avoid, because when you join it, you now defend it.
Yeah, now you that. Even if it makes no sense.
Right, even if it makes no sense at all. Because so many things can't be explained. Right? And you want me to understand something you can't explain. It's different if you say, hey, this is what it is, and I get that you don't get it, but this is what it is for me, and this is how I'm going to do what I got to do, which is cool. You get to do that. But when you get to do whatever it is you get to do, I also get to do whatever it is I get to do. So I don't have to accept what you say.
Right.
I don't have to behave the way you want me to behave because of what you say.
Right.
Just like you get to, I get not to.
Right.
But that's for the people out here who are fighting these fights. That's not, for whatever reason, it doesn't seem acceptable to them.
Right.
Like I get to tell Jay what I get to tell Jay, and he got to do what I say when he around me because of what I said.
Right.
That ain't how this works. If you get to say no, I get to say no. If you get to say yes, I get to say yes. But I get to decide what I say yes or no to.
Right. And that goes back to Larry Elder on the Breakfast Club. And his talking point was basically like just the advancement that black people have made, and so he doesn't believe that systemic racism is the primary thing that's holding us back now. And so he's having these talking points that sound very Republican talking points. And then Charlemagne makes this thing where he's like, you ever heard of a N-word wake-up call?
Right.
And then he defined it. And then Larry Elder was like, I would think you had a N-word wake-up call when Joe Biden said, if you don't vote for him, you ain't black.
Right.
How dare you as a white man with all this blood on your coat saying, as a black man, this is how you should think, and if you don't think that way, you ain't black. You're not even black.
That's
Right. That should be an N-word wake-up call for you.
Right.
But it's like if you don't have any cognitive dissonance, you thinking that you're fighting a good fight for something that's not even real.
Man, that's a mob mentality. It really is a mob mentality. When everybody gets to, man, it's wild. It's like you're at a concert and you see a bunch of people running. What are you doing? What are you doing? Right? You don't know what they. You don't know what. You don't know why. You don't know why they running. You know what I'm saying? You don't know.
And I'm doing like
yeah.
You don't know why they running. You don't know if they're running from or running to. You running, right? And when that happens, it's wild because it happens in so many ways that people don't realize it's happening.
Yeah. Oh,
But it happens all the time.
That's good.
All the time. I don't care what you're talking about. There's a mob mentality, and so now the problem with that is far too many people are participating in a thing without having the information that the people who actually may have started that thing even have.
Right. If you dig deep enough, you'll realize that. What's the am I not a woman? What's her name? Soldier. When she in this feminist meeting, and she won't have any talk. She will not even have any talking points. And she's like, "Hey, am I not a woman?"
Right.
I thought this was a feminist thing, and she didn't realize that this. Oh no, this is a white thing.
Right.
It got nothing to do with you. These are white women problems.
Right.
And you aligned yourself and decided that I'm a feminist, and this whole thing wasn't even designed when you were mine.
Right. Right.
And so
Right. But
from Black Lives Matter. That's the bad.
Yeah, that's just not for us.
When you start appealing that shit, you be like, that shit ain't got nothing to do with me.
And then when you look up all the black movements is meant for you to be an ally for gay and lesbian relations. All the shit is like you allying and you don't even know.
Right.
But then when it's time for you to need an ally, they're like, nah, we gay. They need black.
That is not.
Okay. That being said, ladies and gentlemen, we want to thank you once again for joining us here, the Brotherhood, Manhood, Fatherhood Conversation Series. We want to thank Mark Ball, the American Gunner, Mr. Billy Harper, Devin, Mr. Haircut Smith, JAESUNMUZIC, and Jeremy Jus'Black Davis. I am Coach Rudy. Thank you very much. September 17th, tune in. We got a large group of guests coming for you. It's going to be a great day. Thank you. Good night.